Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial video on SuperMetronome GrooveBox. I love this app. It's really useful as a more musical metronome, one that we can learn from and also use to sort of practice rhythms and sort of any style of music really, any method of playing music in different styles and with different grooves. So down the bottom of the screen, down the bottom right, we have the sort of Superman symbol in the sort of dark bluey colour. I'm going to press that to open it up, and we're coming into the main screen of the app. So what we have here is a visual display of essentially what a drum machine does. So this is really using a drum machine as a metronome. So what we have is 3 layers. We've got the top layer, the middle layer, and the bottom layer. And each one of these is a different instrument to create the rhythm. Now I'll put it on a really simple beat to demonstrate at first. So this is a very basic rock beat. And I'll press the play button up in the top left-hand corner, and you can see like a cursor going across all of these beats, and you can see when it's landing on the beat that is playing. So I'll just talk you through like the structure of this. So basically, you can see we've got 4 sort of groups of subdivisions here, and each one of those is 1 beat. So up in the top right corner, you can see it says subs 4 and plus and minus on each side. If I go plus, that gives us 5 subdivisions. 4, we've got 3 subdivisions, and that's actually the lowest we can go to, only to 3. So we can change the amount of subdivisions. More than likely, most of the time you'll want to do 4, but there are some cases where you want to do 3, and there's plenty of great rhythms that are in a subdivision of 3, but we will use 4 now. We can also change the beats, and that's just to the left of the subdivisions. We can go up to 5. We can actually make that many different numbers of beats, and of course it gets more complicated the more beats that we have. You can make it really complex and really customized, or you can keep it really simple. We can go down to 3 beats, we can even go down to 2 beats. And as you can see, this sort of the grid changes like as the beats change. But still we have beat 1, which has 4 subdivisions in it, beat 2, which has 4, and beat 3, which has 4. So that's just the difference between the beats and the subdivisions. More than likely, most of the time, we're going to be on 4 beats and 4 subdivisions. You can see, just like the tempo app, we have a play symbol, which we also press again to stop. We have beats per minute, which once again we're at 80 here. We can also tap the tempo in, so you tap on that square and it's going to make it the speed that you're tapping at. So that's similar to a lot of metronome apps. They will have that function. We won't look at the progressive tempo because that's a more advanced function. So just below the sort of grid of beats that we have 4 sort of categories of screen that we can look at. We have the edit screen, which is actually where we put the beats, and I'll show you how to adjust that in a moment. Then we have the patterns screen, which are 3. All of these lists are scrollable lists, and they're all things that you can change. So the patterns screen is really about what kind of pattern that you have, and they will have these different names. Really, the best thing you can do is just sort of go through and experiment with different sort of combinations and see what that sounds like. So I change that, and it changes the beat. So that it's really, there's a lot of different settings that you can shift and change around. So I won't go into detail into all of them, but I'll just show you the different screens that we can have in the rhythm. And you can see that these are actually presets. So when you scroll the rhythm wheel, you can see that the patterns change depending on what those presets are. So then we have the sounds screen, and this is just changing the actual sounds of the percussion that we can hear in the pattern. And again, when we scroll the rhythm, we see that those sounds also change. And you can customize that to anything that you like. So you can go and kind of get creative and put different settings in there. And then the last one of the four is the mixer. And we can change the volume of the different parts. So we can actually hear just one part loudly. And we can even mute. So we can just hear one part and how that goes. And then we can mute that one. And we can hear another part, and let's try another one. And then we can hear them all together. So that's just a neat way of sort of getting to know certain parts of a rhythm, and you can listen to that. There's lots to explore in here. You can even create your own combinations and save them. I won't go into all that now. We'll go back to the edit screen, and I'll just pause that, and we'll go back to a simpler rhythm, because it's good to just see how this works with a simple rhythm. So here we're starting with a very basic, this is really just a basic drum beat. And you can see when you tap in these little squares, you can actually add little beats. So I can take them in and out. And I can also make them loud or soft. So you just tap on the square again, and it cycles through the different settings that it can be. So, you can really get creative with it, but where I recommend you begin is just with the simplest beats, and you can use this as a backing to play with. You can play rhythms with it, you can play guitar chord progressions with it, you can improvise melodies. You can really use it for any aspect of your musical practice, and it's just a good way to make sort of working with time and rhythm a little bit more musical and a little bit more sort of applicable to actually making the music that you want to make. So as an example, we might go into a funk beat, because funk beats are usually pretty fun. So as you can see, this is got a different configuration. Actually, we might go into funk 3. Let's see what funk 3. And I'm going to change the sounds as well. So I'm going to move the middle slider, and I'm going to change that to let's put it on percussion 1. Let's see what that sounds like. That's pretty cool. So I can use this as a backing to play with, and it will help me get into the groove of this particular feel of beat, of rhythm. I can try putting that on a funky set. Let's try to see what that sounds like. So that's much more like a funk style. Before it sounded a little bit more Latin even. So you can see there's lots and lots of different options you can do. There's even different banks that you can explore, and that's just sort of categorizing rhythms in certain sort of worlds, certain styles. So yeah, heaps of different things you can customize. And we will be working with this in different rhythm exercises. And yeah, I really recommend that you get this and pay the few dollars that you need to pay to get the full version, because the free version has limitations that make it a little bit frustrating to work with. But it's really worth the money. It's a really great way to kind of get into a groove and start playing with that, working on your time while kind of, making it a little bit more fun. So I hope that was helpful. I'll see you in another video and have a great day. Bye.